for today. So Michelle, it's passed on to you. So take it away.
All right, great. Welcome, everyone. Let me just get us fully set up here. And welcome to the new 21online.com. I'm super excited to be here, and it looks like a bunch of you got up nice and early to be here as well. So this session is geared towards brokers and managers, but what we're going to do is we're first going to cover everything that we're going to cover in the agent training up front. So it's going to sound like I'm talking to the agents, which is fine. So you'll kind of get that experience. And then towards the end, we go through the final two pieces for brokers and managers where you all can add resources for your agent. So I'll walk through those steps quickly for you. And as Angie indicated, today will be about 45 minutes. We will have a Q&A. I've got that kind of scheduled in there at 2 different points, but like Angie said, Angie Stamatis and Jeff Stern are here. They're online. If you have questions throughout, feel free to put them in chat. They are monitoring the chat panel there, and they will answer questions without being too disruptive to you all there as they answer the questions. So I'm going to, like Angie said, go through a whirlwind tour of the new 21 online. So I'm sure you all agree that it's time for a new 21 online experience, right? We wanted a site that is aligned with company values and that focused on helping agents grow their business. So some of the things that we heard about the old 21 online was that it was structured in such a way that it was really difficult to find what they were looking for. Pages were cluttered, and it took way too many clicks to get to where you needed to go. So there was a little bit of other feedback that we received, and that was around the lack of communication between 21 Online and other brand tools and resources like Zap. And then last but certainly not least, we also heard that the site wasn't really mobile friendly. So we're going to touch on those things. So based on your feedback, the new 21 Online has been reimagined. Because our users are always on the go, the new 21 Online uses a mobile-first design. So what does that mean exactly? Right? Mobile first means designing an online experience for mobile before designing it for desktop users. In the past, a lot of sites that included mobile design were designed with desktop users in mind first and mobile users secondary. So this is a really huge paradigm shift, but an exciting and much needed one. Based on your feedback, also, the new 21 Online has been reimagined to focus on increasing productivity. The redesign makes it much easier for agents to manage and monitor their performance and see their rating and listings in one convenient place. So the site also includes action-oriented productivity paths designed to help you take your business to that next level. Based on your feedback, the new 21 Online has been reimagined to be personalized to deliver what's most important to each user. It allows users to personalize their experience much like Netflix and Amazon do for their consumers. So when you log in the first time, you're going to be prompted to answer a few questions. The answers to these questions, along with areas that you visit on this site, that's all going to be used to recommend content that is relevant to you. The new site was designed by agents for agents, and the brand continues to be relentless in ensuring that the site delivers what agents need. I'm going to show you how the new 21 Online benefits you. So as I just mentioned, the first time you log in, you're going to be prompted to answer a few questions. The answers to those questions help personalize your experience. We strongly recommend that you take a few minutes to complete that right away. So the survey includes 8 categories for agents to answer. There's an extra 2 for the brokers. The top image here shows that these are the questions that the agent has to answer. So I'll just quickly go through them. So first they want to indicate whether they're a buyer's agent, seller's agents, or both. Then they want to indicate whether they're a brand new agent, a seasoned veteran, or somewhere in between. The next question, they select if they're currently specializing in anything, for example, fine homes and estates, commercial, or global. Then next are the objectives, and that's the areas that they want to improve on. They can choose 4 business objectives. The goal section then is where they choose their primary goal. Of the 4 objectives that they select, what's most important to them, and that's going to help 21 Online serve up content that is tailored to that specific agent. Under action paths, they're given the opportunity to preview some recommended action paths. If they're not currently signed up for Workplace, they can easily sign up there. And then finally, there is a short video that will give them a brief tour of the new 21 Online. So the top one, like I said, this shows all of the different categories that they're going to be asking. This view is just to show you that this particular agent answered all of the questions except this one. They didn't get into any of the action paths, which again is fine. I'm going to move now to a live demonstration of the site. As I demonstrate, like we said, questions are going to occur to you, so feel free to put them into chat, or you can save them when I get to the question slides, and you can ask them at that point. So without further ado, all right, so you're going to find the new site is structured to make it easier to find what you're looking for. For demonstration purposes, we answered the initial questions for Agent Corinne. I'm just going to click up here and just show you we're logged in as Agent Corinne here. All right, so the content that's coming up is based off of those questions that we answered, a couple clicks as we've been developing the training and whatnot. I'm going to do a high-level review of the site quickly. I'm going to kind of click around and just you can watch as we flow through. And then we can get into a little more details of a lot of the areas. So at the top of the screen here, top middle, you see 4 tabs. The new dashboard is highly customized, informative, and above all, intuitive. It knows who you are from the get-go. It provides an experience specific to you. So the dashboard keeps you up to date on award progress, company news, and Century 21 curated news. All right, I'm going to go back to the top. I'm going to click on Action Paths, and we'll talk more about those sections in a few minutes. So action paths are pathways to success, if you will. They're goal-based checklists to help you along a specific area of development. For example, becoming a commercial agent, or perhaps you want to sell more listings, or you want to be a buyer's agent. Also available on the new site are broker-created action paths. Next, achieving goals and advancing to the next award level are incentives that keep everyone performing at their best. Your office, state, and national rankings are on display to inspire you to achieve the next best thing. And then under resources, you'll find documents and links to many resources to aid you as you progress with your business. In the upper right-hand corner, let me just go back to the top, upper right-hand corner, you have easy access to Workplace. Hopefully you all see that. It's a little small, but you should be able to see that. Next to Workplace is a site menu. When you click on these 3 lines, what we like to call our hamburger menu, you'll notice that the menu is focused on productivity categories designed to help grow business. This helps to improve the less clicks, I guess, is how we should say it, right? It helps you to move easily to find tools and resources that you need quickly. So, for example, when you click Market a Listing, you're going to see a sub-menu that's focused on serving up content and resources that are relevant to that topic. From here, you can also access Zap, Agent X, and even Lead Router Lead Management. I'm going to click back to the main menu and show you here we also have a few hubs. The Productivity Hub, I definitely want to show you right now. This is where you're going to find many of the tools that you use on a regular basis. Takes a minute to get there. But tools like Toolkit CMA, Lead Router, Business Builder, just to name a few. I'm going to scroll down just a bit. Notice we're on the All tab for all of the tools that are in the Productivity Hub. Just going to click on Listing Resources just to show you. There's Toolkit CMA. We also have Zap in here, so you can see you can get to a lot of those tools quickly. All right, let's take a closer look now at your dashboard. And you're all thinking, wait, how do I get back to the dashboard? Anytime you want to get back to your dashboard, up in the top left, we're going to click on that Century 21 logo. And that's going to bring us back here. So that's kind of your home button, if you will. So at the top, we already scrolled through here, but I just now want to touch on each of these sections on the new dashboard. These are called cards. They look like little cards, right? So here we put the things that you need to know and do right in front of you from the moment you log in. A maximum of 6 cards will be displayed. If you do have new leads, a card is going to be displayed giving you quick and easy access to Zap. So you have that blue bar that has that action in the Zap CRM. So if you don't have any new leads, this card will not appear, but you will have 6 cards listed. Again, I want to remind you how important it is for you to complete that initial survey, because that allows the site to serve up content in these cards that is geared specifically to you. These cards are reflective of what matters most to you and your business. Now, scrolling down the screen, this middle section, or measure your success, this shows you an overview of how you're performing. So you've got your award progress, you have customer satisfaction, and my ranking. So if you want more details or want to take a closer look, you could click on the buttons that are here. I'm going to click on just the one, just for time purposes, but I do want to show you how when you click on Production Awards, this is where you will see how many units I have and my year-to-date AGC. And I'm also going to see my progress to that next award level. The information on this and within the My Ranking section is updated on a monthly basis. Now to get back to the dashboard, I can either click Dashboard here, right in the middle of the screen, or like I said, your home button or the Century 21 logo. All right, when I scroll down a little bit more, this section is where you can find content that's relevant to you to help you grow your knowledge about Century 21's products and programs. And there's even a search feature. So you can click in there and do some searching for articles. And we're going to show you a little bit about searching in a few minutes. And then scrolling all the way to the bottom, this is what we call the footer of the page. And here you're going to find information and resources about the brand. This information is similar to the information that you would find on the current site under the About Century 21. And these are all links that go to this type of information. And I'm going to go back to the top. And we're at our dashboard. So now that's the dashboard. I'm going to click over to Action Paths. Now, action paths are suggested action items to build or grow a specific area of your business. If you're a brand new agent, you're going to be served up with something different than if you were an experienced agent looking maybe to become a luxury agent. In our example, this agent recently sold, I'm just going to scroll here, so this particular agent recently sold a property. So one of the action paths that she's going to find here is this sold action path for this property. So from here, the agent could, and look how cool this is, from here, the agent could order signs. They could access Century 21 Business Builder. So these are all links that are built in to the action plan. All right, and once, let's say, we ordered the just sold riders, we're going to click the checkbox as we complete each of these items. It's a nice little checklist. All right, now you want to think of action paths as goal-based checklists. Action paths guide you through individualized areas of development. For example, I want to be a commercial agent or I want to sell more listings. So those are the paths that I want to look for. These offer kind of the next steps for your journey ahead. You have the option to create new paths. So everyone does. I'm just going to scrolling down to the bottom here. And I'm not going to get into the details here. This is the agent section, so we don't show them how to create new paths just yet, but I'm going to show you all towards the end of today's session. All right, but what I do want to show the agents is how to find some already developed action paths so that they don't reinvent the wheel. So I'm going to show them to come down here, click on the View Suggestions, and it's going to give me a list of some action paths that are already created. So first, I just want to point out what the action paths look like. So I'm looking at this right build client loyalty path. So we have the number of steps within that path. We have a short description. So we want to be pretty descriptive when you're developing those. Right underneath the description, it shows who it was created by. When there is just the Century 21 logo, that means it was created by the brand, if you will. Notice to the left, Dwayne here created an action path, so it clearly spells out who created that. You also have like and dislike icons, and this is really important. This is all part of that building that personalized experience. So we want to encourage the agents too. If they really like this plan, they're going to give it a thumbs up. If it's not relevant to them, they'll give it a thumbs down. That way it won't keep showing up on their personalized site, if you will, as they are developing their business. So if you want to see the steps of the plan, and this is what's really important for them to say, okay, I want to build client loyalty, I'm going to build my own path. Well, let me see what's there first. So they come into here, View Suggestions. they find this build client loyalty, they can preview the actions. So now it tells them what all the steps are, and they say, oh, you know what? This is exactly what I wanted to do. I can click start right here and get started on this action path. I'm just going to click cancel for now just so it doesn't start that one. All right, so you see all the steps included in that particular path. You may want to search through all of the action paths that are there. So if you don't have your search box at the top, you might have to scroll to the bottom. I'm just going to return just to show you all. I go here. We're on our action path tab. I say, well, I really want to search. I'm going to click here and it'll throw it up at the top. All right, and then we have some topics. I'm going to select all topics. And I'm going to type in listings. I already did that earlier, so I'm going to select it and hit my search. All right, once you have a variety of paths listed here, if we scroll down, we see that there's 9 action paths that meet my criteria, and here's the pages. It shows 8 at a time, so I can click on the 2 to get to that last one. But I also want to show you the sort by. So if we click on sort by, you can click on by relevancy. Now this takes into account hundreds of data points, including upvotes and downvotes. That's that thumbs up, thumbs down. How many people have created action paths, all kinds of information there that it takes into consideration and throws what they think is most relevant based on that data at the top. But then you can also sort alphabetical or reverse alphabetical order by clicking on these. All right, so I'm going to go back to my dashboard. I'm going to click on resources. Here you're going to find links and documents. All right, again, we're logged in as an agent, so they can see the links that have been populated for them, so they can quickly get to those, and they can see some documents. They can click on this See More Documents button. So I'm going to click on that just to show you 213 documents. I'm going to scroll to the bottom, show you again the results and the number of pages here. Scroll back up. We also have the sort by, and they can sort the difference here from looking through the sort of action paths is newest. You can always have the newest selected to be on top if you want. The searching is the same. You can select a topic. You can also search by topic within the topic, I guess a subtopic, if you will. And then you would just hit the search button. All right, so that's our docs. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. So I went through dashboard, right? We looked at all of those, the action paths. We talked a little bit about that. The awards, I clicked through to that. The resources, you got links and documents in there. The great thing about the new 21 Online is that there's an integrated search feature no matter where you're clicking. So I'm on the dashboard. I have up in here, discover articles, tools, and more. If I click action paths, if I click awards, it's still up there. If I go into a menu item, market a listing, and I'm just going to click here. We can still continue to search throughout the site. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. So you can search for articles, tools, resources, and so much more from this one place. So it really does make it easier to find what you're looking for. So as you start typing, the search results will serve up some items. So I'm going to start typing in buyers. Right, and as you can see, it changes depending on what you're typing in there. So you can select, if they say, oh, this is what I was looking for, the buyer pledge, they can click on that and open it up, or they can view all of the results, and it'll tell them how many results are there. I'm not going to click on that right now, but it will give them a list of documents just like we saw. Now, beginning on September 19th, when anyone uses the URL 21online.com, they'll be brought to the new and improved site. The old site will remain up and running for approximately 2 weeks after the new one launches. To get to the previous version of 21online.com, they are going to need to use, and I'll just bring this up. This is the website that they'll have to use, www.classic.21online.com. All right, so remember at the start of the session, I told you that the new 21 Online was created with a mobile-first design. If you haven't done so already, you want to be sure to check it out on your smartphone, but I'm going to show you here a little bit of what it looks like. So let me just get that set up for you. So here on the left side of the screen, this is your mobile device. You'll use your finger and scroll around, up and down. You can tap on items. I'm going to tap on, and look how nice and easy it is to read. You can click on continue the path. I can even do a nice easy search here, type in there and do a search. I can even get to my menu items with lots of ease. All right, so the mobile first experience is wonderful. All right, so that's what we have for the agents section. Questions at this point that they need answered? Angie?
Okay, it took me a second to find the unmute button. I don't know why. I'm going between two screens, and I'm like, is it on this screen? Is it on that screen? Sorry. So just a couple of points of clarification. The new site does go into, it will be live rather on the 19th. So what we're operating from right now is a development site. So just keep that in mind. So if things look a little wonky or it's loading funny, rest assured that's the development site, not the live site. The second question, action plans. So we just want to point out that users will see action plans based on their role. So for example, again, we're in a development site. Managers or brokers, when they log in, they would see a recruiting action plan or an action path where an agent would not. And for mobile, it's a URL, it's not an app. So it's a URL, not an app. So it was designed with a responsive web design, mobile design.
Okay.
All right, I think those are all the questions I have. So if you want to keep going, I'll keep answering in chat and then check back in with me, and I'll let you know if we've had any recurring questions.
Okay, great. Excuse me, to make sure I can keep my voice going now for just another few minutes. So I'm just going to switch, and we only have two things to cover for the brokers and managers here, and I'm going to switch over then to, remember, we are logged in here as Agent Corinne, so I'm going to jump over to our broker login just so you can see the difference. And it really isn't going to look a whole lot different, except for, like Angie said, you're going to see some things that are, geared towards recruiting and that kind of stuff. Plus, you're going to see how easy it is to create some action paths. So the dashboard looks the same. I'll just scroll through. The difference here is, remember on the agent site, it says measure your success. Here it says measure team success. All right, and you can still click on your buttons here. You still have some growing your knowledge section. Excuse me. And you still have the same footer. You always have that back to top button and your button in the top left. I am so sorry. I'm really losing my voice. The top left to get you back to the dashboard at any point. So I'll just click on action paths here, just again to show you there's your recruiting that Angie had mentioned there. Just scrolling down. You have the same view suggestions, so you can see what's already there before you go and take the time to define a new action path for your agents. All right, I'm going to click on resources. No, let's go ahead and create an action path. Yeah, let's go ahead and create an action path just so you can see the different screens. So define a new action path. So remember, these are suggested action items to build or grow a specific area of an agent's business. So you as the broker or manager can create these and be very specific. So on the actions path page, we scrolled down, we clicked on define a new action path. So on this dialog box, we're going to put in a title. You're going to put in a description. So I'm just going to use test just so we can keep it pretty clear. And this is a test. And then you can choose a topic. So there are a variety of topics here. And I'll just put in onboarding. And then I'm going to click create. So you want to be pretty clear about what the title is and that description. And click create. At this point, if you say, oh, you know what, I think there really is one already like this, you can click the remove button. Or if you say, you know what, I want to change the title or the description, you can click edit at this point. All right, but here's where we then build the steps of the action path. So I'm going to add an action path item. Excuse me. And there are two types of items. Is it actionable or not? Right? An actionable item is going to have a checkbox next to it, and you can add a link if you need to provide some more resources. A non-actionable item is just something that's instructional, if you will. So we'll show you those. So we're going to add a title. So this is my test title, my test description. And we'll show this as an actionable item. Let me hit save and continue. So now I have my title, my description. I can remove at any point. I can edit those two. Right? Now I have my first step. Right? This is whatever you told them to do. It has a little description. I can edit that. And now here is where if you want to add a resource, a link to a resource, I would click add a step, and you would put a website here, or if it's a phone number to call someone, if they have to make that, if that step is make a call to, so-and-so, you can actually put that right here. And you can, this is optional, but you can put in some text that tells them what this step is all about. So I'm just going to cancel that for now. And we can add another step here. So add another item, if you will, and keep doing that if we would like to. I'm going to do this one as an instructional one. And this is my test instruction. I'd like you to do this. And save and continue. So this one has the checkbox. And this is just an instruction. Again, you can go in and edit each one. All right. So now we have our, let's say it's all complete. I'm just going to return to my dashboard. Paths. Oops. On action path. I say, oh, you know what? I really need to go in. I want to know who's going to see that one that I just created. So I'm going to go in and search. We call it test, right? And there it is right at the top. But I just did a search. And this one has one step. So we'll go into this test with the one step and one instruction. I can preview those items. I can then click the edit button. And then here, when I come back in, I can then say, all right, who is going to see this action item? Is it just for myself? Is it for my entire company or for everyone on 21 Online? I'm going to say my company. Save and continue. So now I'm going to jump over to Corinne. Click action path. Just to refresh it. We're logged in here as Corinne. Go to our action path. I know that my broker just put one in and they want me to see it, so they told me to go check out the test. So one action path, here's my one with the one step, created by Dwayne. And now I can preview the actions as Corinne, and I can start this action path right here. Go back to the broker login. All right, so that was by just creating the path, then going back into edit at the action path level and selecting who's going to see that. All right, so let's go back to our dashboard. So that's action paths. We're going to click on resources and show you how easy it is to add a link or a document. Right? Remember, Corinne didn't have add the link button or add the document button. They could view more. So I'm going to click add link. I'm just going to select this, but won't complete it because it's already up there. But we're going to say, okay, this is the link I want everyone to see. I can hit enter or that little button. Just want to make sure the website's right. Is this how I want the title? Do I want to put a description? And then you can put a type. And there are 3 types. So reading is just obviously a link that gives your agent something to read. Perk could be to a business benefit or other perk of being a system member. And then app is to an external tool or app that the office may use that lives outside of the Century 21 system. All right, so I would click Save Link. I'm just going to click Cancel, though, once I have that created. All right, when you do create one, there will be a gold bar that goes right across the top that says your link was created successfully. So you will know that it was created, plus you'll see it listed right there. So once the link's been added, you get that message, and then you can go back to the Edit button and make any edits, or you can remove if you need to. If you say, oh, I really didn't mean to put that there, or it's not relevant anymore, you can go in and remove that. So that's your links. Adding documents, just as easy. So you can click on the Add a Document. You can drag and drop documents here. You can click to upload. And let's say I'm just going to put this document in there. And now you have another dialog box that asks you for some information. So you've got the document there, and it has a title if you want to give it a different name and then replace the document so it makes more sense, whatever you need to do there. You can give it a title here. Visibility, you have the option viewable by everyone in the company. Maybe it's just a broker document for your company, or it's just something you want to keep there that you can quickly get to that you use on a every day, weekly, monthly basis. And then you can give it a description if you want. All right, once you're happy with the information, you click Save Document. I'm just going to click Cancel because there's other documents already there. But you will get another indicator that says your document was uploaded successfully. So we've got some documents that were uploaded successfully here. If you have added it, then you will have the Edit button here. So you can go back and edit the information. You can replace the document if there was an update to that document and change this different information. You can remove it if it's no longer relevant. I'm going to cancel that because we don't want to remove that. And that's how easy it is to add links, documents, to action paths. Are there any questions? Back to you, Angie.
I was trying to type and click at the same time to go back and forth. And, it's like chewing gum and walking. We have had lots of great sections, questions. So if you could go back and just remind folks where to get the tools. So it's from the hamburger menu. So if you could go back, they just wanted to know where would they find, again, for easy access, all of the tools. Yep. So if you click Productivity Hub. And remember, we're on the development site. It hasn't launched yet. And there you go. So there's all your tools. There was a question, and we may need to pull in Jeff. Jeff, there was a question with regards to Teams. So I know that it's curated. The content that you see is curated based on what's important to you. So you may have a team with 5 people, and depending upon how they answer the questionnaire and how they interact with the site, I know that the site will customize what they see. But things like leads and listings that are sold, all of that would be consistent across all teams. Is that correct, Jeff?
That's correct. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Again, if you are a member of a team and that is so indicated in Dash, and the listings for that team are entered in Dash as the team, that each member of the team will see that information.
Awesome. And another quick question is, if I'm a broker, would I be able to see the progress any agents are making on any action plans that they're working on? So maybe I can help coach?
Yes.
And how would we do that, Jeff?
The direct answer is yes. As far as the process, I would have to provide that, to you.
Yep.
I don't have that available off the top of my head, but I do know that brokers, if they have created an action path, they will be able to see the progress of the agent on that path.
Perfect. So we can send out a job aid as a follow-up for that. Awesome. We can certainly do that. And I know this question came in several times about organizing the documents so agents can see what the broker uploaded first. And I do believe that has to do with the filter that we use. Is that correct?
When you say the filter that you use, you mean depending on whether you sort it by relevancy or A to Z or Z to A?
I thought I remembered in a conversation that if we did internal, wasn't there and maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, but I recall there being, if I wanted to look at documents and search on things that were just from my company, am I able to do that, or am I remembering incorrectly?
Yeah, I think there is a filter. Can you bring up the topics again? Click on the topics link, Michelle. And there's an internal option there. And since this particular company has not uploaded any documents yet, that would be the way you would filter those documents that were added by your office.
Okay, perfect. Michelle, do you have other content left to cover? Because I'll let you go back, then I'll keep answering questions in chat.
Nope, that was it, because I was hoping that we would get some other questions if anyone wants me to click around to see something that I showed, and they say, wait, I want to go back to that, so now's your time to ask.
Okay, perfect. So I will send out a link, and maybe, Jeff, you can send it too. We have some brokers that want to know where agents can sign up for any of the sessions that still have spots available, and that's in Workplace, correct?
Yes. Angie, you can send that information to Matt.
Okay.
And he will make sure that whatever needs to be updated or additionally posted in Workplace, he will get that done.
Okay, Scott, did you hear that? So we'll send you, I'll follow up with Matt, and we'll get you the link to where it is on Workplace. So if I am a broker who is also an agent, that would have to be noted in Dash, obviously. And then again, once I connect with 21 Online, based on the survey that I complete and how I continue to interact with the site, so liking and disliking, it will curate content specifically for me based on my role as a broker and as an agent. Is that correct?
Yes. And those cards, I heard Michelle, talking about the cards on the dashboard. Those will also adjust based on where you go on the site. For instance, you'll see that first card that's highlighted in black there on the left side of the screen. That is, it says pick up from your desktop. So the last place you have been on the site will populate there. And the other cards will also populate based on where you've been on the site, your goals, objectives, and just things that you've touched on as you've moved around the site.
Perfect. And then I'm going to make an assumption here, and so correct me if I'm wrong. So if I'm an office manager and there are 5 offices within my company, but I only have access, or according to Dash, for 3 of those offices, when I post content, it would only be available to the 3 offices that I am linked with in Dash. Is that correct?
That's correct.
If you upload something, it would be available to all offices within your company. But if you only have access to, let's say, 3 of the 5 offices, when you upload content, it would only be available to those offices. So that was another question that came in. And right. Where would you go to find Dash, Lead Router, Golden Rule programs, etc.? So Shelley, there's 2 different ways you can do that. You can use search, or you can go to Productivity Hub.
Right. Productivity Hub is definitely the quickest way to get there.
Okay. As a sales manager, will the award progress show all of the agents or just me? Great question.
Awards progress, everything that you see on the dashboard on awards is relative to the individual looking at the information.
Okay.
If you need additional information on, other awards, other folks in your office, you can scroll down and access the same way that awards information is accessed today. There's an awards rankings, and that's at the bottom of the page. Michelle, if you can click on View Full Rankings Report. And we're not
We timed out.
in the dev site. Yeah, in the dev site we can't get into it, but similar to the way awards rankings are displayed and available on the current site, all you need to do is click on that awards rankings. And we are now ranking individuals not only within an office, but within the state and nationally. And it's not just the top 100, it's everybody in the system.
So that's pretty cool because that's new because that was only used to be the top 100, correct?
Top 100, right, that's correct.
Yep, so that's new and exciting. And just to clarify, again, the site will go live on September 19th. So when users log in for the first time on the 19th, we strongly encourage them, they will be prompted right away to answer that survey, to answer those 6 questions, 7 questions. And if they opt not to, that's okay. They can go back and do it later. But again, if you complete the survey and you continue to engage with the site, it really is able, algorithms behind the scene really allow the site to curate an experience just for you, that user. So again, live on the 19th, use that survey, continue to interact on the site, like and dislike, so that it's just like with Netflix and Amazon. The more you like and dislike in the various areas that you visit, it really is able to customize an experience just for you.
Angie?
Yeah?
I would add one thing relative to once the site launches.
Sure.
That if your brokers or have any questions, please direct those to your brand ambassador, and he or she will get those over to me, and we'll get those answered as quickly as possible.
Awesome. And then I'm making an assumption again here, but as an agent completes action paths, and again, the more they interact with the site, it will serve up recommendations for additional paths. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I think I got everything. And yes, Scott, it is in Workplace. I do believe it's under Tools, but I will confirm that with you where you can get the link. I will follow up in an email with you afterwards.
And just one other point there, I heard Angie say that, as you and the agents go in, if you don't answer all those questions, you can get back to that profile. I just want to show you how to do that. If you click on your menu and go to your settings, it's going to bring you back to the profile, how you had it set up. Just click any of the edit buttons, and it brings you back to that profile that here we can now go in and finish or change any of those.
Good call on that, Michelle.
And one last question. Again, remind me, if I upload a document, is it visible or is it identifiable who uploaded it so that if I uploaded something, if I go in and see it, I can edit it, correct?
If you upload it, you can edit it, yes.
Is there a way when a agent clicks on, again, that's using that internal filter. So if I go here and I want to see things that were uploaded by my company, I would go up to topic and click internal. I think that's one area that's a little confusing for folks still.
Yep, I mean, that's the way.
Yep.
Again, if that changes or that's not the only way, then I will let everybody know. But that's the way you can filter out items that have been posted by you or the office.
Now, if a manager happens to upload something and the broker wants to take it down, can the broker do that?
That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah.
We will find out. We'll get back
to
you.
I don't know the answer. Yeah, we'll have to find out.
So lots of questions about agents who can't get into the training or new agents that are hired at a later date. So if somebody joins the company 60 days from now. So we are working closely with the brand to address any additional training needs. Nothing has been created yet, so we're going to look to see if there is a demand, and if so, we will take to it. And again, we will be working with the brand to decide if maybe there's job aids that we can create or quick little videos to get a new person up to speed.
Yeah, I can only add that the site has been developed to be fairly intuitive, and once it's made available, I would recommend that people just go in, log in, and move around the site. It really should answer the questions that you have. But if you have additional questions or need to know where to find things on the site, get in touch with your brand ambassador, and we'll get back to you.
Great. And then one last question before we finish, because we are 3 minutes past the 45-minute mark. And we can stick around if you guys want to ask additional questions. But can a broker mandate a learning path to be mandatory? So if I'm a broker and I create an action plan or an action path, is there a way that I, as the broker, can make that mandatory?
When you say mandatory, I would assume that means that there's some way that the broker can see whether or not everyone has, followed the path and completed the path. Since a broker has the ability to see what action path an agent has completed, the only way for them to know that would be as if they, check the completed action path against the list of agents in their office. There is nothing system built in that would, say this is mandatory and make sure that you take it.
Okay.
It would be available to every agent in that office, and it would be up to the broker to confirm that the agent has completed it.
Okay. That is, by and large, all the questions. I've been kind of feverishly answering questions. We are recording these sessions, so once all the live sessions are complete, if we have agents that haven't been able to, or brokers that haven't been able to attend a live training, we will make recordings available, I do believe, either later this week or early next week. And then, Michelle, if you just want to wrap it up and talk about the survey for today's session. And then, again, we can stick around and answer questions in chat.
All right, so yeah, if you all will, when you log out of the session, complete the survey that should pop up. I don't know if we double check that we had that in there. If it does not, let me just stop sharing here, and I will put into the chat www.c21evals.com. So if you will take just a few minutes, go ahead and grab that right from the chat. You can copy and then paste that into a browser if it doesn't pop up for you. And it's a quick survey. You're just telling us what you liked about the content or didn't like. So it's content as well as delivery. So did you like the style that we did in delivery, a little bit of PowerPoint, and then we jumped right in live. Please select 21online broker. This was a broker training, and then my name as the instructor, and then answer the 2 questions and put your comments in as you see fit. That's it. And yep. So for anyone who has any more questions, feel free to hang out. Otherwise, you are free to go. Best way to log out of class, you're going to click on File in the upper left-hand corner and select Leave Training Session. So thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
And again, I'll hang out for just a moment and answer any additional questions that you have. We hope that you found the session informative, and we hope you're excited about the Reimagine 21 Online.
Angie, I have to run to another meeting, but if
Okay.
there's anything that you need answered, just, send me an email.
I will hunt you down, Jeff. You need not worry.
All right, thanks. Take
Thanks.
care. Thank you. Thanks, Michelle.
You're welcome.
The link to take this is on Workplace, and I do believe it's under Tools. I will follow up and get back to you, or I'll have Matt Kulik get back to you if those sessions are full as to the plan for additional training.